NASCAR rolls into the World Center of Racing for an Independence Day weekend celebration.
Start your engine!
The Xfinity Series gets things off to a roaring start.
Casey Kane on the outside lane to the win at Daytona.
After making a last lap charge to the win in a wild finish last July, Casey Kane looks for a repeat performance.
Chris Buescher, checkered flag, gonna win it today in Iowa.
Xfinity Series points leader Chris Buescher has 2 wins on the season. Now he looks to advance from runner-up here in February to champion under the lights.
Reed to the start-finish line, and he has won.
Ryan Reed proves stars can rise quickly with his season-opening win at Daytona. And tonight, many of NASCAR's finest will be racing for the win at a place where a victory can define a season. It's time for the fireworks on the 4th on the high banks of Daytona. It's called the World Center of Racing, and we're about to get underway with the Subway Firecracker 250, race number 15 of the season for the Xfinity Series. And the drivers have strapped into their cars, getting ready for the Command to Fire engine.
Morgan Shepherd's been in this series for a while. This is his 18th start here at Daytona in the Xfinity Series.
In row 16, Ryan Sieg, his best career finish came in this race last year.
Row 17, you see former Daytona 500 champion Derek Cope.
Harrison Rhodes will be making only his 2nd start here in Daytona.
Another driver making their 2nd start at Daytona is Cale Conley back in row 19.
In row 20, the final row, Eric McClure and Peyton Sellers.
I think we should talk to one of the drivers out there on the racetrack. The field, all 2 by 2 as they come into the tri-oval. Green flags in the air for the Subway Firecracker 250.
You know what's so hard about this rule about not being able to lock bumpers is that sometimes in order to prevent that, you're going to have to be slammed hitting the brakes. Now you got a guy behind you that's hitting you. If that's going on in the middle of the corner, a lot of times.
Oh, into the wall. We've got another one. Sparks are flying, and the caution comes out once again.
Right up against that yellow line, protecting the bottom, forcing the outside guys to make a longer run around the racetrack.
And it shows a spotter and a driver working very well together. A lot of times we talk about spotters just helping a driver in a wreck, but at Daytona and Talladega, there's so much a spotter can do. He's talking about what's going on 7 or 8 car lengths behind Brian, and that's to give Brian information that Brian needs to jump to the outside. So they've got a plan, and they're executing it. That's a really good job, spotter and crew chief working together.
Joey Logano in 6th now. That opting to stay out an extra lap or 2 for Joey Logano and Austin Dillon has paid off as they've been able to move up into the top 6.
Yeah, no question. They were able to stay out for a little bit longer than the rest of the guys. They were to stay organized, in line, while other people were probably having a little more trouble getting on pit road. They were out there running smooth, came on pit road smoother, and that enabled them to move a little bit toward the front.
3 wide at Daytona. That middle line goes up to block. Ty Dillon had momentum. Now Ryan Reed still trying to keep that momentum up with Joey Logano behind him.
Ryan Reed doing a really good job there, blocking, driving in his mirror.
Chase Elliott making the move on the inside. Daniel Suarez stuck in the middle. Regan Smith on the outside in the 7th.
And we talked about this all week long about how narrow Daytona is. This is the perfect example. They're 3 wide. There's nowhere to go. If you don't have track position, it's going to be very hard to find it.
The pack entering turn 3. There's Eric Almirola in the 98 in the middle. Brian Scott still hugging the double yellow line. Elliott Sadler all over his back bumper.
Logano was able to get by Reed. Now he's the first car on the outside. Let's see if that car can push him to the front.
At the stripe. 10 laps of racing to go. And around goes the pack in the middle. Darrell Wallace Jr. gets caught up. The big one happens just as they go through the tri-oval. Back up into the wall hard, Brendan Poole. Eric Almirola caught up in this in the 98. The caution comes out.
Pointing here, guys.
Chris Buescher, the point leader.
Back up here today.
Currently scored 7th. Definitely in the championship hunt. Pace car is off. It'll be 2 to go. Green flag back in the air. Great restart for Austin Dillon. Chase Elliott on the back bumper. Sparks still coming out of the one of Elliott Sadler. Two cars trying to break away from the pack. Austin Dillon and Chase Elliott.
A lot of cars smoking tires. Elliott Sadler, he was in that wreck. I'm surprised he's able to stay in that line. That's what these two front guys want to see. I don't think those back two rows are going to be able to keep up with the front two.
Working through 3 and 4 and back into the tri-oval. Once they see the white flag, the next flag will end the race. White flag in the air, Austin Dillon, your leader. His best finish at Daytona, a 4th. Looking for his first win at this famed track.
Still all single file. Top 4, all single file. Half back to the 9.
Can the 9 get a push right here from the 1 to propel him by the 33? The 1's trying all he can. 9's closing the gap just a little bit.
Andy Houston, the spotter, telling him all about the traffic behind him. Austin Dillon trying to stay in front. He's off that yellow line, staying in front of the 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott with a final run, trying to get by as they come into the tri-oval. And around goes the 18 of Suarez behind him. Austin Dillon will hold on. He's winning Daytona.
And we're back. I'm telling you, we're gonna go win some more here. Thank you, guys.
You got down off pit box, Rick, and just took that big sigh of relief. Woo! It's over. They won.
So much success between the two, Austin Dillon and Danny Stockman. When Austin went up to the Cup Series, Danny stayed back and worked with Austin's brother, younger brother, Ty Dillon, trying to win another championship. And then just recently, after the Chicagoland race, RCR decided to make crew chief swap between the 3 and the 33 team, putting Danny Stockman back with Austin Dillon for this race for the first time, and they end up in victory lane.